Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Man and Machine here with the PeakBot team, Dillon and Ben, co-founders and co-hosts this morning. Is this our first show of 2026? No. First Man and Machine.
Yes, first Man and Machine, but we were live on Friday, which was the second.
That is correct. All right, so second live show, first Man and Machine. For those of you who aren't familiar, PeakBot is the household name for automated trading. We have our own bots, strategies, etc., as well as automate for our partners, different trading companies and communities. You can find out more information about what we do below, linktree.com/usepeakbot. Feel free to ask us questions anytime. Of course, we're going to give it a few minutes here for people to start rolling in, but we need some music. We do have a great show for you here today. Let me just get this going here. We have stocks in real life. All right, so that means we're going to be talking about a stock in which we've had experience with, and also take a look at the chart, see if we can form some type of trade idea. On top of that, we'll take a look at our current positions. In fact, I don't know if our bots have any positions open right now. King AI had nothing going over the weekend, so I think we got a clean slate for PeakBot.
Yeah, King AI will be trading today, given that VIX tells us everything is a-okay. King AI was off for the year end and the opening of the year, because historically what we've seen is at year end, and even the half year, there's a lot of portfolio rebalancing that goes on that causes our condors to lose. That would not have been the case this time around. I was watching it and we fell within what our strike prices would have been for all trades, but better safe than sorry. It's one of the only times this bot is going to be turned off when AI is telling us to trade.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. I want you to guess something. All right. So Let's say King AI enters today. VIX criteria is met. We enter this afternoon. Of course, we're looking at our AI model to enter based on a confidence level at certain deltas. I want you to guess, if there's an entry today, what deltas we're going to be entered at, or average premium collected. You can kind of go whichever angle you want. Hey, Doug.
First of all, Happy New Year, Doug.
New Year, man.
Glad to have you back. We've been not live for a while, so apologies if you tuned in and we weren't live. My guess for today, we've been hanging out around $15 on VIX. Not that that's got much to do. We got another Happy New Year. What's up?
K-Shep. Second ride or die.
Don't be giving away names.
Everybody knows his name, but I'm not gonna say it.
I would guess we're gonna go 15 delta on the call side, 10 delta on the put side, for a total of $130 credit.
Oh, okay. All right. Gave us the full guess. Now, nice mug there. Tradier. Thank you. Love it. So give me your reasoning behind it quick, and then we can move into stocks in real life. But, what gives you the idea? And I'm actually going to pull up the previous premiums just to see what we've been collecting. But, what's your thought behind that?
Yeah, so you pulled that up. I'm going to pull up the daily chart. I'm thinking that because we've been declining over the last week. Price has been declining, and I've noticed that when our model sees price falling, it's going to give us more room on the put credit spread, like put that put credit spread down further because price is falling. Yep. And I've noticed as well that it'll give us a little bit more premium on the call side. So why don't we just get this to the stage here? It's only been it's a small, very, very short, small pullback we're looking at here for the last week or so. But we do see a pullback since Friday, December 26th. Now, low volume last week of trading. Everything's going to kind of get back to normal this week. We might see a pop this week, but I think at least in the short term, we might continue to see a bit of a slide. I think that the model is going to look at this pullback early in December, this pullback in December. I mean, that's two pullbacks in December. And this previous one isn't quite as large as the last one. There might still be room to go. Again, what's happened in the past is not indicative of what's going to happen in the future, but that's where my guess is formed. Again, we're in that short pullback, we're in that short downtrend. I think we're going to go for a little bit more premium on the call side and a little bit less on the put side.
Okay. All right, I love that take. When I was looking at the premiums, I think our last live trade, we actually skirted out with a partial win. But when we were taking home the full premiums in the 4 or 5 trades prior to that, we were seeing 190, 120, 160, 160. And now we're already back at the beginning of December, we're seeing premiums like 210, 215. We were, things were a little tighter. We were collecting a bit more premium back then, but so I like that guess looking at this chart. We'll have to see, but excellent. All right, so Ben, anything else you wanted to look at here with SPX? Otherwise, we can kind of keep things moving.
So on Friday when we were live, which was right around this time period here, I put on a trade, call credit spread, sold the 68.45 call, which was this green line here. That call, if held till expiration, did not win. However, I'm happy to report that I did close that call. I collected $3 in credit. I closed right around here for 50 cents in credit. So I made a nice $2.50 on that. So $250 before we shot back up and that position would have lost.
Oh, nice.
So I bring that up because, some of our bots do wait till expiration. Some of our bots take profit. Now you can always manually intervene at any time, right? So if you're looking at your positions and you say, I want to take profit now, especially if you're trading Shorebo, because Shorebo will let the trade expire.
Mm-hmm.
And this wasn't, but if this trade was a Shorebo trade, it would have lost, whereas manual intervention would have gotten you a nice win in this case. So be afraid to override the bot. However, in the same breath, I'm going to say, let the bot do its thing.
I'm thinking about something live here as you're mentioning this with Shorebo. Have we ever run a back test with a take profit on there? Obviously, that would become a day trading, but
poor results on that because the premium is relatively low.
Yeah.
So you're really just chopping off a lot of your win.
All right. Just an idea, just a thought, but makes sense. Very valid. Nice trade. Good catch there. And very cool. All right. So why don't we move on to stocks in real life here?
Let's do it.
All right.
Stocks in real life. Today we are talking about Carvana.
It's ridiculous.
This ticker has been with us for years at this point, since 2023, which sounds like 3 years, even though it's just the start of 2026. But ticker CVNA, tagline, will drive you happy. Dillon, have you ever used Carvana or at least seen what your car was worth on Carvana?
No. Maybe I should go see what my car's worth live on Carvana.
You want to do that? Let's do that.
All right, we can. I hope if I'm needing like a VIN number and stuff, I'm not going to get it. It's too cold.
No, you don't. I don't think
the year, make, and model. Then I can do that. Now, I have a lease, so it doesn't really matter. But we can still do it. But no, I haven't used it. My only experience with it, I used to live down in DMV, outside of DC, Baltimore area, and they had one of those off the highway. Those huge towers. The car, whatever.
It's like a giant car vending machine.
Yeah. I saw their towers. I don't know if that's still part of their business model or not, but when you see them, it is kind of neat.
It looks cool.
So I don't have experience with it in real life. My experience is trading it. I traded Carvana for a whole year practically, and on the wheel strategy, and I think I made nearly 40% annually just wheeling Carvana week to week. That's because the stock, and we're going to have to look at the chart, it's going to be chaotic. This stock is outrageous. Just a few years ago, the stock was trading at, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, we had Carvana down at $5, and I think I wheeled it up to 50, 55. And then we thought this stock was broken. We couldn't believe how much it had moved. I'm looking at, did you look? Do you know what the closing price, of Carvana was on Friday?
No, I mean, I know we're in the hundreds. I want to say close to like 300.
Try $400.33.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
If you wanted to wheel this today.
You have a chart up?
I'll pull it up, yeah. I was looking at the wheel watch list because that's where I've become so familiar with that stock. But so
we got some real life experience from K-Shab while you're pulling that up.
Okay.
They bought his wife's car from Carvana, delivered right to the driveway. Worked out well, but yes, scary to drop $25K on an online purchase.
Yeah,
I get that. I totally get that. I looked into Carvana buying my car at one point, and listen, my car is nothing special, but I just feel like they just super lowballed me. Where it left a sour taste in my mouth, and I said to myself, I'm never going to use Carvana.
Oh, really? It was that bad, huh?
Well, yeah, I think looking back at it, I probably could have rationalized and been a little bit more reasonable, because you literally don't have to do anything. Like, they'll come pick it up for you and take it. Like, you don't have to leave your house.
It is pretty white glove service. They got a pretty good approach there. Here's the thing. I'm pulling up the chart here now. Let's get this going here. So Ben, let's go to the last 5 years on this chart. So this is outrageous. Okay, so we're gonna go full screen here just so everybody can really soak this in. So the lowest dollar amount on this chart right now is $2.40, and the high is over here at 400. So anyway, all-time low. Let's go to all. All right. So all-time lows. We're looking at monthly charts now, but this traded as low as what looks like $3.55 back in December of 2022. Okay, so this is post-COVID, right? COVID looks like they actually, this is October of 2020. So yeah, they came out, had a terrible 21 into 2022. I started wheeling it like right here, I swear. And then we can see that the stock just would not stop. So I'm not kidding. I think if I had to mark this out, I did weekly expiring wheel trades. Ben, these were naked, by the way. These were naked.
Most of them were, yeah.
Not even a vertical credit spread. Just selling the 25 delta cash secured put, if assigned, selling the 25 delta covered call. And when you look at the chart here, let's go to the daily just so we can. All right, so these are weeklies. It's a little bit better. So we can see here, I hopped in kind of at the bottom, if you will, and then came all the way up and just collected premium week to week here. And you can see the down weeks, these red weeks, I'm getting assigned the shares, but I'm ending up holding them, collecting more premium and selling them from there. So anyway, too long on my position, but Ben, we did a whole case study around it.
We did.
We were like, Dillon made 40% on the wheel on Carvana. Looking back, what a ridiculous choice. That was bold. That was a small account type of choice there. But Ben, talk to me about you with Carvana as far as the stock goes. You dipped your toe.
Yeah, hey, we were wheeling it at the same time.
Okay, good.
So I think that's back when PeakBot only had the wheel.
Yeah, that was our only. It was our only option spot. We still had some equity bots. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. That was our first options bot. Still is an options bot. We're making some improvements and changes to the wheel, so excited for those to be released shortly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wheeled it for a while. We made a good amount of money on it. Now I don't think I would touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Not Carvana. I don't have the cash. By the way, if you're looking at it on the wheel this week, of course, the data will update this morning, but about $300 in premium, trying to stay above 387.50. So, they've been bearish since looks like middle of December. We've been coming up bearish, and big drop actually on Friday again from a high of 420 down to 400. So Very interesting. I'm just going to look at. I mean, Ben, do you have a trade idea? You did kind of just say you don't want to touch it with 10-foot pole.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No trade idea. But they did miss their last earnings report. Prior to that, they had well exceeded the three prior. I just wanted to look at the technicals and the analyst ratings here. So we're very bullish over the next month. I guess that's due to this recent drop here. Analyst ratings are kind of going both ways. However, just looking at the chart, when we actually look at the signals, we got 19 strong buys. So, hey, listen, if you got cash and you love Carvana, maybe now's the time to buy, but that's not financial advice. Certainly not from me. But anyway, okay, so Ben, no trade idea on Carvana then. We will move past that. Where do we go from here?
I'd say let's get into the bot shop. It's been a while since we continued on with our King AI analysis, and then we can do some economic events and call it a morning.
Let's do it.
Cool. So let me get this up on screen here. We are going through another week of the bot shop where we are covering all things King AI. So far to date, we have talked about just the overall intro and results of King AI. Maybe Dillon, we can talk about updated results for King AI because it's still crushing it. That'd be good to see. We talked about AI training part 1 and part 2, and now we are in week 4 of our analysis where we talk about adjusting deltas. And we know that from previous conversations that King AI can choose a delta anywhere from the 10 delta to the 30 delta. And each side of the iron condor is independent of the other side. So it could be the case where, for example, the call credit spread sells the 15 delta, which was my prediction for today, and the put credit spread could sell the 10 delta, which again was my prediction for today. So what are the pros and cons of placing our strike prices at these different deltas? And we're actually going to look at some back tests live of how these trades would have performed, not using AI, but if we had just basically placed a trade at these delta every single day. And then we're going to we'll have a conversation about, what delta we think is best. So the 10 delta, of course, the pros here are it's the highest chance of both sides expiring worthless. Now the King AI strategy, as we know, it lets each side or every contract really expire. Whether we're in the money, out of the money, we're going to let that trade go till expiration, and we're either going to cash in or we're going to get slammed. But most of the time we are cashing in, as we'll see when we look at results. It does have a smoother equity curve. However, on that curve, you will see some large drops. We have seen that in the past, but that's the game that we're playing when we're shooting for this high of a win rate. It is going to have the smallest credit. It's going to have the lowest return on risk. And that pretty much sums up the 10 delta. High probability of winning, lower credit, lower return on risk. But again, that's all made up for in that high win rate. Now, the 20 delta falls right between, of course, the 10 and the 30. I like trading around the 20 delta. Is it the best place to trade? We'll see in a minute. And honestly, I would let AI choose that. You get a little bit more credit, right? So when we trade the 20 delta with this iron condor, if it's both sides that we're trading the 20 delta on, we're collecting around $3 in premium, which is pretty nice. I like to see $3 in premium. However, you're not going to win as much. So you're going to see some drops in that equity curve. You're going to have more in the money finishes, and you're going to have less credit than if you were trading at the 30 delta. Now, the 30 delta is the riskiest out of all of these. You are going to get the largest credit. We'll see what that average credit is in just a minute here when we look at the back tests. There's going to be many more losses, but the size of the wins will help make up for the amount of the losses that we're going to see. It does have the highest chance of finishing in the money. And if we look at these deltas as a proxy for win rate, we can do 1 minus the delta. So 1 minus 0.1 would be 9. That's roughly a 90% chance of winning. 1 minus 0.2, which is the 20 delta, roughly 80% chance of winning. And then for the 30 delta, that's roughly a 70% chance of winning. So again, it is the highest chance of finishing in the money, highest chance of losing. It's going to have a choppier equity curve as a result. but again, it is collecting the most premium. So let's head on over to Option Omega. We love the guys over at Option Omega. Great product if you have not tried it out. It is where we do a lot of back testing and is where a lot of the origins of our bots end up or start at. So this particular curve and these stats you see on screen are a result from trading an iron condor every day with our VIX parameters at the 10 delta. So we're selling the 10 delta strike. We're buying $10 further out of the money to create our $10 wings. And that is the standard construct of our King AI strategy. Now, of course, what's different between our strategy and what you see on screen here is our machine learning algorithm is going to adjust the deltas that it's trading every day or potentially not trading on certain days that this back test is trading. So again, this isn't indicative of what King AI's results are, but this is saying, hey, if we just traded the 10 delta every day, this is what it looks like. So the key stats are, and this is over the period of time that 0 DTEs were available on SPX. So from May 16th, 2022 to date. So the numbers to look at here are total P&L of just under $11,000. That's a compound annual growth rate of 22.3%. Pretty good for just letting this bot rock and roll here. Max drawdown of 30%, which is about double the drawdown that we see for King AI. Total win rate, 86-ish%. So let's keep those in mind. The average winner is $134. Average loser is $685. So that includes partial wins, partial losses, all averaging to that total amount. And that's the curve. I mean, I don't hate that curve. We did have like a pretty stale period from the beginning of this test period up until July 2023. So call that a little over a year of being basically flat. And then we've kind of been off to the races with a big pullback in 2024, in summer of 2024. And then we kind of just recovered from there. So I don't hate that look. I don't hate seeing that at the 10 delta. Let's take a look now at what the 20 delta curve looks like. So it's a bit choppier. Remember, we mentioned when we were going through the slides, the 10 delta was going to give us the smoothest look. This is a bit choppier. We did kind of eliminate that period of being flat for the first year, although we're not up a ridiculous amount. We're still up pretty nicely. If we look at the overall compound annual growth rate and overall P&L, it is a bit higher, right? Max drawdown a bit lower because we are collecting around $300 in premium per trade. Again, trading at the 20 delta, we're going to collect more premium. The average loser is less because we are collecting more premium. So while this is a bit choppier, and it is a smaller max drawdown. So while this is a bit choppier, and it would really suck to have start traded this on February 18th here of 2025, and then decided you were done in April of 2025, you would have lost a couple $1,000 there. It did bounce back up and did recover. So while a little bit choppier, it is proving to be a little bit more profitable over time if you're willing and able to hang through those drawdown periods. So that's the 20 delta. Now the 30 delta is kind of a mix of each. Again, we eliminated that flat year at the beginning, and we continue to move up, but that flatness has moved and even into a decline over the past year and a half or so, to where we're really not making any money on this strategy, and that's not what we want to see. So even though compound annual growth rate is 23.3%, this strategy has not made money in the past couple of years. So we really want to, when we're evaluating these strategies, we really want to make sure that, especially in the shorter term, this strategy is making money, to make sure that, as market conditions are changing, the strategy is able to keep up. But we can clearly see that it is not keeping up. So the average winner is a lot higher here. We're talking $460. The average loser is also about $460, $450. So the wins and the losses will kind of cancel each other out. The win rate is right around that 50% mark. So overall, profitable over the test period. Short term, not digging the profitability metrics there. But again, King AI is taking into consideration not just the 10, the 20, and the 30, but also the 15 and the 25 delta to determine what's the best strike to place that, so that way we get the best risk reward based on where the model thinks price is going to go over the next day, so we could collect the most premium and lessen losses as much as possible as a result of that.
I think this is incredible data, and when you see it, you're probably saying to yourself, boy, okay, so there's probably one I don't really like as much as the others. It's kind of like, what's the old kids fairy tale with the girl with going to the houses and the soups, the porridge is too hot, too cold. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No.
Man, you probably think I sound crazy. My point of all of this is I'm looking at all three of these data sets, and I'm happy with the overall equity curve, right? But, I'm trying to think of my experience as a trader going through all of this. The beauty with King AI, and Ben, I'm going to translate this over into our live results for King AI, is that, as Ben mentioned, it's determining where to go for you. All right, based on its confidence level, with over 300 data points that it's analyzing. Goldilocks, thank you, Tuck. Goldilocks, Ben. Where they go to the houses, and then were there wolves involved? Yeah, the big bad wolf, I think.
No, that's Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh, that's okay. So you know what? I'm gonna have to get all this straightened out, later. But point is, King AI is doing the heavy lifting for us. Let's look at the results. So I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to pull this up. We're going to pull this down. We're going to take a look. All right. So King AI, since live, we're going to be putting out a case study on this, and but these are the facts. These are the cold hard facts and what you want to know. If there's anything you take away from this show today, it's that we've got a winner in King AI. It's our 1DTE Iron Condor SPX strategy. AI determines where it should enter and if it should enter. 38 for 42 since we turned this thing on in the middle of September. All right. That's over a 90% win rate. It has returned just under $2,500. That is a 124% return on cash. Where are we getting that percentage? It's a $10 wide leg on the Condor, so $1,000 per trade, plus you can be in two at the same time, today's and tomorrow. So we need 2K set aside realistically to have this bot trade day in and day out per unit. Okay, so that's how we're getting our cash on cash return there. 2K is being used. It's made $2,500. This bot's on fire. Long live the King AI. Thank you so much, K Shep. So look, if you're on PeakBot and you're not trading King AI, I'm not sure what you're doing, truthfully. All of our other bots are doing their thing as well. Ben bot's having great success. We're taking a look at Shorebo. It is in a drawdown. It does have hot months. It does have cold months. We're trying to see if there's anything worth fixing there. Otherwise, we may truthfully be putting Shorebo to bed in 2026 if it doesn't have a turnaround here soon. And there's some new strategies to come. But listen, if you want more details on King AI, just head on over to our website, or you can go to directly to the results page. It's peakbot.com/King AI results. That is right below me here, going across the banner at the bottom. So this is the hottest spot in town. Have somebody argue that. All right, Ben, how about some economic events for the week? And let's get out of here.
Cool.
All right, let's do
it. Got that going there. All right. So what do we have going on today? We have some manufacturing data being reported today. That's after the bell, and then not too much going on this afternoon. I like a nice, quiet Monday to really start off the year. I know we started off on Friday, but that was kind of like a fake trading day. Mm-hmm. Now we're really kicking off the year. And then going into tomorrow, we've got some pre-market data, and then we've got just only a little bit coming out after the bell. Again, I like a nice, quiet Tuesday. And Tuesday going into Wednesday, things start heating up just a little bit, just in the amount of data being reported, some services data, some jobs data. Those are both after the bell. This will not stop us from trading our 1DTE strategies. So fully anticipate, VIX dependent, fully anticipate trading Tuesday into Wednesday, those 1DTEs, and Wednesday into Thursday. We've got some more data coming out Thursday. There was something non-farm payroll related, but I don't think yet. Non-farm productivity, actually. That's not going to have us turn our bots off Wednesday into Thursday. But Thursday into Friday, we've got a bunch of building data. We've got non-farm payrolls, and that's both of those are pre-market. We've got unemployment rates. We've got Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report. So for the 1DTEs, those will be off from Thursday going to Friday, except for potentially King AI. Again, the model is going to make the decision. When I say the model, I mean the AI ML model is going to be making the decision if we trade from Thursday into Friday or not. So overall, I'd say a pretty quiet week for most of the week, getting into some noise later on Friday, but it will not impact our trading too much.
Excellent. All right, so we're getting back in the swing of things here. We should see some action this week. Good luck to everybody out there on our bots and our partners. So we got a couple partners really starting to kick things off here this week as well. We have Terry's Tips, who's just been crushing it year in, year out, coming off of I think it was right around a 50% return. Don't quote me on the exact number, but he's got a 40K portfolio with 4 different portfolios within it, and he's been absolutely crushing it. You can head on over and check him out at peakbot.com/ttips, or you just head on over to our link tree, and we'll get you everything you need there. So putting that back up on screen. Our partner Uncommon Education is launching his copy trading today. Our list is going to keep things moving. JR28 is going to keep things moving. We got a lot of partners active and trading. So if you ever have questions on what type of bots and automations are available outside of PeakBot strategies ourselves, just schedule time with us. Go to our website, peakbot.com, open up the chat feature, and let us know what you want to know, and we'll get you in the right place. So excellent. Ben, unless you have anything else, man, I think we're ready to sign off.
Yeah, let's hit it.
Awesome. All right, well, we will be live again Friday for the Automation Station, episode 196. We're getting close to our dance party. I know Doug's excited. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, we'll see you at the peak. Take care.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.